This young man was named Grisha. He was the son of a crazy rich Russian. That night, at the disco, as usual, Grisha's daily job was just playing with women and spending his father's money. Every time a woman refused Grisha's request to sleep with him, he immediately threw her out, then left her in the middle of the road. One night, Grisha was stopped by the police for speeding. When the police told her to get out of the car, arrogantly, Grisha tried to bribe the police by throwing a wad of money at his face. However, the police refused the bribe and continued to force Grisha to stop. When the police tried to stop him, he was dragged by Grisha's car until he finally fell and had an accident. A few hours later, Grisha's father, Pavel, came to the prison. The police chief felt sorry for Pavel because almost every week Grisha was always in and out of prison for causing trouble. When he saw his son's arrogant face that showed no remorse at all, Pavel was really confused about what else to do. After paying the bail to free Grisha, Pavel vented his anger. Since Grisha's mother passed away, Pavel was tired of having to deal with all these problems alone. However, Grisha still didn't care. She even peed carelessly and smoked in front of her father. Because he was fed up, Pavel left there. After that, Pavel confided in his girlfriend named Anastasia. Anastasia was a producer on one of the TV station's programs. Hearing Pavel's complaints, Anastasia suggested that Pavel consult with a horror film producer she knew, named Lev. Lev had many creative ideas and might also have ideas about how to change Grisha's behavior. The next day, the two of them came to Lev's office. Inside, Lev was seen testing a hanging machine he made himself for his latest horror film. After hearing Pavel's story, Lev told him not to worry because he was used to handling cases of naughty children like this. Lev said that naughty children would quickly change if given shock therapy. However, Pavel told him that Grisha's level of naughtiness had gone too far. He asked for a more extreme shock therapy so that Grisha's nature could change completely. Hearing this request, Lev got an idea. One night, when Grisha had just come out of a discotheque, she was shocked to see her car being towed. Panicked, Grisha immediately chased after him, but suddenly, from behind, Grisha was shot by a mysterious sniper until she passed out. In the morning, in a stable, Grisha was woken up by a worker named Arton. Suddenly, a supervisor appeared who pulled Grisha out while scolding her for being lazy. As a result of the commotion, the son of a noble landowner, named Alexei, came and gave the supervisor a whip to whip Grisha. Shortly after, Alexei's father appeared. The confused Grisha kept screaming, telling them that she was the daughter of a respected rich person. She swore to report them to the police. However, hearing the word police, they all laughed in surprise, as if they didn't understand what Grisha meant. The nobleman then ordered the guard to whip Grisha so that she wouldn't be so rude. Luckily, this time the punishment wasn't too severe. When the nobleman left, Arton hurriedly took Grisha back to the cage. In the cage, Grisha, who was still confused, immediately tried to escape. The local residents were confused by Grisha's strange behavior. In the middle of the road, she was stopped by the guard. Grisha ran as fast as she could until she fell into the pool. After drying herself and being given a change of clothes, Grisha got angry because her clothes looked like a sack of rice. Not only that, Grisha also asked if there was no one here who knew about cell phones, airplanes, the internet, cars, and Donald Trump. When she asked, "What year is it now?" Arton replied, 1860. Suddenly, the guard reappeared and took Grisha to the place of punishment. As a result of her escape attempt, Grisha was considered a rebel and would be sentenced to death along with the other rebels. Seeing the corpses hanging and some whose hands were cut off in front of her eyes, Grisha was very scared. When she was about to be hanged, suddenly the noble's daughter named Paulina came. Paulina told them all to stop, saying that she didn't want there to be a death sentence on her birthday. Not long after, Paulina's brother and father came, and a heated argument ensued between the three of them. Meanwhile, Grisha could only remain silent and resigned herself to fear. Because Paulina kept begging, her father finally cancelled all the death sentences scheduled for today. After the sentence was stopped, Artyom happily thanked Paulina for saving his best friend. However, in the midst of that joy, Grisha was just frozen, holding back tears, not knowing what to say or do. This was the first time in her life that Grisha felt like she was between life and death. Above, an eagle was seen flying past them. The bird continued to fly until it reached a building. It turned out that the bird was a drone camera. And the incident in the ancient village was just a setting. Pavel, Anastasia, and Lev had rented a village as a filming location, solely to change Grisha's character. Everything had been carefully planned. Starting from professional actors, cameras installed all over the village, to snipers who were ready to drug Grisha if at any time a problem occurred. In fact, Anastasia directly led the project. Using her experience as a producer on television, during the break, the director explained that while in the village, the actors were prohibited from wearing modern items such as rings, earrings, bras, and underwear. Because in that year, underwear had not yet been invented. While the other actors were busy briefing, Alexei was busy dating an actress named Lisa. While they were busy chatting, the director gave the script for the next scene and told Lisa to get ready immediately. Meanwhile, in the stable, Grisha was still confused as to why she ended up in the past. She thought that maybe the towing truck that towed her car last night was a time machine, just like in the movies she had watched. Feeling that there was no way to return to the future, Grisha finally gave in. Reluctantly, she accepted the situation and tried to live her days as a horse groomer. She began to get used to sleeping in the stable, eating porridge with outside dishes, cleaning horse manure in the stable, and having to collect leaves for horse feed. Day by day passed, Grisha began to get used to life in the village. However, there was one thing she really missed, which was the internet. On the other hand, Pavel looked in a dilemma. He was confused as to why his daughter, Grisha, had not changed at all. Lev then told Paulina to act like she was crying to teach Grisha about sympathy or caring. While crying, Paulina complained that she was sad because she was matched with a rich old man. But instead of feeling sympathy, Grisha told Paulina to accept the match. She even said, after all, if that old rich man dies, all his wealth will be inherited by Paulina. Seeing Grisha's reaction, Paulina, Lev, and Pavel were disappointed. Their plan failed. The next day, Grisha told Artyom that she had successfully stolen a chicken. She didn't care even if the nobles found out. Anyway, she wanted to eat chicken today. Not long after Artyom finished work, he asked Grisha, "Where is the stolen chicken?" Grisha replied that she had finished the chicken by herself without wanting to share any of it with Artyom. That afternoon, the supervisor gathered all the workers because a chicken had been stolen. The supervisor then punished one of them at random, and unfortunately the one chosen was Artyom. Grisha just kept quiet even though her own close friend was being whipped because of her actions. Seeing Grisha's indifferent reaction, Pavel was disappointed again. Their plan to foster sympathy in Grisha failed again. At the river, while Grisha was busy fishing, Artyom came and got angry because Grisha didn't want to admit that she was the reason Artyom was punished. In the middle of the conversation, Grisha accidentally saw Lisa's underwear. Grisha felt strange. Shouldn't there be modern underwear like that in this era? Because she was so curious, Grisha insisted on seeing Lisa's underwear one more time. Luckily, Lisa managed to escape. That evening, Grisha returned to Lisa to apologize for the incident earlier. She regretted being rude to Lisa. Pavel, who saw this, started to smile. This was the first time he had heard his son apologize. That night, when the entire village was partying, Paulina was still trying to win Grisha's heart. Paulina said that she would rather commit suicide in the river than marry an old man she didn't love. However, Grisha ignored her and preferred to chat with Lisa alone. Lev then told Artyom to pretend to give a signal for Lisa to go after Paulina to the river. After successfully saving Paulina, Grisha then took her to the horse-drawn carriage. In the carriage, Paulina tried to seduce Grisha, but Grisha refused. She chose to go to Lisa's house to apologize for leaving her earlier. The next day, Lev told Lisa that last night's incident was not according to the scenario. Initially, Lev wanted to make Grisha and Paulina fall in love with each other, but Grisha fell in love with Lisa instead. Lev planned to rewrite the scenario, and from now on Lisa would be the female lead, replacing Paulina. While getting ready, Lisa told her boyfriend, Alexei, that she got the main role as Grisha's companion. Lisa asked Alexei not to be jealous. Whatever happens later, she promised not to fall in love with Grisha. During the day, the nobleman was angry because Alexei caused trouble in the city center. As a result of that action, the city guards are now heading to the village to punish Alexei with a whip. Because he didn't want his son to be punished, the nobleman then called Grisha into the house. The nobleman asked Grisha to replace Alexei's punishment. If she agreed, the nobleman promised to give Grisha a letter of freedom from slavery. In the afternoon, Grisha was punished with a whip instead. After receiving the punishment, Grisha went to ask for her release letter, but Alexei instead pushed and spat on Grisha while saying that Grisha would remain a slave forever. This was the first time Grisha felt what it was like to be deceived. Although hurt, she couldn't fight back. Day by day passed. Grisha and Lisa now looked closer. They always spent time together, telling each other about their past. Until one day while walking, Grisha accidentally saw an eagle-shaped drone camera above, which was having an error, flying in circles. In the studio, Lev, Anastasia, Pavel, and the other crew panicked. Quickly, Lisa improvised, saying that the eagle above had always flown like that. The eagle, according to Lisa, had followed her since she was little and was considered like her guardian angel. Luckily, not long after the drone returned to normal, when Grisha wanted to take Lisa home, they were confused to see the horse-drawn carriage in the warehouse swaying. It turned out that Lisa's boyfriend, Alexei, was having an affair in it. Lisa tried to remain professional, acting as if they didn't know each other. Then left from there. As a result of the incident, Alexei and Paulina were fired. Because yesterday Lisa looked sad, tonight Grisha wanted to give her a surprise to cheer her up again. She invited Lisa to a romantic dinner. Even though it was only in a simple warehouse, Grisha served Lisa so gently. After eating, they looked at the beautiful stars together. At that moment, Grisha dared to express her feelings. Seeing Grisha's sincere concern, Lisa's heart slowly began to melt. The two of them finally kissed under the beautiful starry sky. Witnessing the happy moment, Lev, Puffle, and Anastasia also felt happy. A few days after being fired, because she was hurt, Paulina revealed how Puffle's project was going. The shocked host then said that Puffle had violated human rights by torturing his own child. The next day, the police conducted an investigation. Seeing the news, they then gathered all the crew to make a plan for a new scenario, a scenario on how to make the ending a happy ending. Before the police came, suddenly Lev got the idea to make Grisha a hero. The next day, the drama began. When Grisha and Lisa were alone, Artyom came to inform them that the Mongols had attacked, even threatening to burn the entire village. When they arrived, they saw the fully armed Mongol troops had taken over the village. The leader of the Mongol troops then appointed one woman to be his wife. Because he could not accept it, the woman's father tried to fight back. Unfortunately, he was beheaded. The leader of the Mongol troops then chose another woman, Lisa. However, instead of being a real man who saved his lover like a hero, Grisha actually left in fear. Even though Lisa begged many times, Grisha still left. In the studio, everyone was disappointed because the police would be here soon. In panic, Anastasia hurriedly ordered everyone to tidy up their things. Puffle also told Lev to immediately drug Grisha, but Lev refused. He still believed that Grisha would definitely save Lisa. In the midst of the argument, they heard Grisha's voice praying, asking for help from the eagle that Lisa considered her guardian angel. She prayed, asking for courage to help her lover. Then, bravely, Grisha rode a horse while carrying a stick, then fought the Mongol troops and rushed to save Lisa, like a hero, just as the two of them left. At the same time, the police came to surround them. Calmly, Anastasia, Pavel, and Lev explained that they were currently filming a documentary for Anastasia and Pavel's wedding. The police, who did not have enough evidence because they could not find Grisha anywhere, were forced to believe them and then left. Meanwhile, Grisha took Lisa as far away from the village as possible. Until when she came out of the forest, Grisha saw a gas station. Grisha was very confused when Lisa wanted to honestly tell the whole truth. Suddenly, from behind, a sniper shot Grisha with a tranquilizer bullet. Grisha fainted and was taken to the hospital. When she woke up, Grisha was told that she had been in a coma for 3 months after being hit by a car. Grisha was shocked. Was her whole life with Lisa just a dream? Day by day, Grisha tried to live like before. She went to nightclubs and drove around using her expensive sports car. But strangely, Grisha was not as happy as before. Without Lisa, Grisha's life felt empty. She then apologized, even giving her sports car to the police officer she had once insulted, until one night, while drinking at a bar, Grisha accidentally met Polina and Alexei. Since breaking up with Lisa, now the two of them are dating. At first they wanted to keep their mouths shut, pretending not to know Grisha. But because they couldn't bear it, Polina and Alexei finally decided to tell the whole truth the next morning. They took Grisha to Lisa's place. Seeing the woman she loved so much appear in front of her, Grisha was so happy. It turned out that Lisa was not a dream, Lisa was real. Some time later, Grisha invited Lisa to attend her father and Anastasia's wedding. After congratulating her, Grisha said that she already knew everything. Even though Pavel had lied, Grisha was not angry. She actually thanked him. Thank you for being a caring father and for changing her into a better person. Now, it seems that Grisha has started a new business with Lisa, Artyom, and the other crew. Her business is unique. He becomes a producer and actor in a drama project set to rehabilitate bad kids, like Grisha used to be, so they can change into good kids, like Grisha now. The film ends.